Hello, EGN-150. Depending on when you're watching this video, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I wanted to take a few minutes to kind of go through the final project and give you some ideas and maybe a little bit of a direction on how you can proceed. So the first thing, let's look at the final project. This is the Canvas site. So in the final project, what you're going to be designing is a gripper to fit on the end of this robot, okay? And then the video you can kind of see the gripper in action, so I put that video in there. You're going to be designing the gripper, or in fact you're actually going to be designing the gripper fingers, but the gripper is a Schunk MPG-40 two-finger parallel gripper, okay? And I'll show you more details about that in a photo in a second, but the details for the gripper are such that you're going to be designing three separate grippers. Okay, so the first gripper is going to be designed to pick up these three pins in this configuration all at once. Okay, the second gripper is going to be designed to pick up these 9 pins again in this configuration all at once. Okay, so the gripper fingers need to grasp these 3 pins in this configuration, or in some way pick up these 9 pins in this configuration. And then the final gripper, you're going to be designing a gripper to pick up this cup. Okay, so you have 3 grippers, 1 gripper, 3 pins in a line, second gripper, these 9 pins in this configuration, and the third gripper is to pick up this cup. All right, the gripper is actuated pneumatically, and I'll show you, how it works in a second. We'll look at a picture of it, but there's more details here. Plus, there is an instruction, or not an instruction guide, a manual for the Schunk MPG-40 gripper that you may find helpful. It has some important specifications and details in that as well. Okay, so let's move on. So we'll look at some close-up pictures of the current gripper. So these are pictures from our robot in our lab in T710. You might have seen this robot as you walk down the hallway. But this is a close-up of the front of the gripper. So this is kind of the best view of the current configuration. You can see the body of the actual gripper, the gripper body, Schunk MPG-40 right here. These black parts on the right and on the left are the jaws that open and close pneumatically. There's the air in and air out right here. And these aluminum pieces right here, these are the 2 fingers that we have right now. So we in our configuration for the gripper, we have these 2 aluminum figures. You notice how they're attached to the jaws on the left and on the right with this M4 hex socket screw. All right, and you can see the detail on the fingers right there. By the way, this is a little laser pointer, so you don't have to design anything for that. Okay. Then if we look at the front view of this, this is again the front view, but this is closed. All right, so you can see this is the maximum closing of the device, of the jaws. This is as close as they get together. If we look up here, this is the maximum open configuration. Okay, so open and close. By the way, the distance from the top of the finger to the bottom of the finger is 75 millimeters. So that may give you some scale. Okay, and then finally, I gave you a picture of the side view of the gripper, and in this, it's it's useful because you can see where the M4 socket head screw is and the side view of the detail of that. Okay, so those are the gripper fingers that might help you with how you're gonna design your grippers. Let's go back and see if there's anything that we can talk about. I'm not gonna. We'll get to the step model. So I have a CAD model of the Schunk MPG-40 gripper here, and you can download that, and you will need to use that in Fusion. And then I've also provided some drawings. So this is going to be important because you're going to have to model the pin base and the cup and the pin so that you can use it in your design. So let's look at the pin base first. So here's a dimension drawing of the pin base. Okay, let me get this in a little bit better. It's a very simple design, right? It's square, 100 millimeters square, and it has 9 holes in it. The holes are a diameter 17, and the holes are 35 millimeters apart in this square configuration, and they start 15 millimeters from the corner. All right, the depth of each hole is 10 millimeters, and the total depth of the plate is 15 millimeters. Okay, so that's something that you'll need to model. Let's go back and look at the pin. Okay, the pin drawing. So the pin looks like this. Okay, so it's a cylindrical shape with rounded shoulders here, radius 3 shoulders, and then there's a little neck, and then there's a sphere that sits on top of it, which is a diameter 15. Okay, the height from the base to the center of the spherical top is 36 millimeters, and it's 15 millimeters in diameter in total. All right, and now let's go back and we'll look at the last drawing that I've given you, which is the cup drawing. So this is the cup. The cup is a simple, flat, short cup. All right, it is 3 inches or 76.2 millimeters in diameter maximum outside, and a total height of 31.75 millimeters. The depth of the cup is 25.4 millimeters or 1 inch, and the diameter of the hole is 2.5 inches or 63.5 millimeters. Okay, so those are the details for the parts that you're going to have the grippers grip or interface with. All right, so let's go back here. So that is essentially the main information that you'll need to know. This is the product information for the shank gripper body. There it is right there. Right, again, you're designing fingers. This already exists, and you can see how it works. It's pneumatic. And then crucially, there's important dimensional information, and if we move down here, some specifications. Let's go back up here. I think I missed the specifications. There we are right there. Okay, some specifications for the gripper. All right, so I guess the next question is, okay, so how do we get started? All right, this information is here. So how do we get started designing the gripper? Okay, well, this is my suggestion, right? And after you digest this, you may come up with your own plan, and certainly that's part of the design process. But my suggestion is you start with a sketch. Okay, so what I have here is a sketch that I got started with. Okay, and this is a sketch that I made for a gripper for the cup. Okay, so what I've done is I've drawn the cup in here, and I've drawn the shank gripper body, right? And I've kind of sketched in what I think would work for the gripper fingers. So you'll see that I have it kind of on the left-hand side. It shoots out to the left, and then it comes around, and you got the right hand. This is the closed configuration. Of course, when this opens, it's going to open up so the cup is released. This is the bottom view, and you can see the left gripper is going to be like a half cylindrical shape, or not quite half, and then the right gripper. So when this opens up, it's going to release the cup, and when it closes, it's going to be able to grab the cup. Okay, and I have some pertinent dimensions in here. So I know that the outer diameter of the cup is 76.2 millimeters. You're going to be designing everything in millimeters, so that's why you need that. I know that I'm going to shoot for about 10 millimeters in my width across here, just because I think that's going to be appropriate. I could always change that. And I'm going to aim for about 75 to 100 millimeters from the very top of the gripper finger all the way to the bottom of the gripper finger, about 75 to 100 millimeters. All right. So that's what I'm going to use to get started. All right, so let's see how we can get started. All right, in the next video that I'll show you, I'll get started with this in Fusion. All right, thank you.